I went to a campground, got a shower and a shave. It had been almost 3 weeks because I got out in the boonies and all the campgrounds were closed for the corona. And finally I found this one, and it was a really tough day because my high-speed data kept cutting out, which meant my GPS kept cutting out. And I was pushing my way up these mountains. I went 2.7 miles past where the campground I had targeted was, where I could get the shower, and it was 85 degrees. And I'm pushing up these roads, and traffic was behind me sometimes, and it was really hairy, scary. And so the roads are like this, and it goes on forever, and so then finally the GPS signal lost, and then it says, GPS signal, no, it didn't say that. It would say, or it did after 3 or 4 hours of this, make a U-turn. And so I'm quick looking on the thing, and I missed a turn, and I had gone up this mountain, pushing all my gear. And I'm just too heavy loaded. I started the trip, you know, from Michigan, and got caught in ice storms and stuff. So I needed the tent, and I needed a warm sleeping bag, and I needed the extra clothes, and I've been reevaluating. So I have taken my time now and taken out every piece of gear, and I'm going to find what I don't need, and I've got to either ship it home, like my tent, and then replace it, like buy a hammock. And it's been real tough, and when I got to the campground, I had money on my debit card in my bank account, and so they say, all right, you're in campground number 7. So I roll my bike down the hill, just rolling sweat. I get there, number 7's occupied. So I come back up and I ask the lady, okay, things are going so wrong for me today, I want to make sure that you take a debit or a credit card. And she said, no, we only take cash. I said, well, I'm sure glad that I didn't set up camp like you told me to, and then find out that, I got $11 cash on me? It was really frustrating, and I felt terrible because she teared up. And here I am, Doug, you big jerk, leave that nice young lady alone. And so what they did was the campground manager came by with his pickup truck, and he said, how you doing? I said, not good. Here's what happened. And he said, well, I'll just run you back to the dollar store. They have an ATM there. I said, thank you. So I pile in, stinking like you wouldn't believe, because I hadn't had a shower in almost 3 weeks. And because of fester on my leg, which I'm just about to give you an update, I could not just jump in the lake, which would have been so nice. But then I've still got this wound on my leg. It would have been so dumb. So I'm watching all these people swimming, and it's so hot. And I got camp set up, and the sun started blazing. So I laid out my air mattress on the picnic table, and I'm just laying there rolling sweat still. And I thought, all right, I'm going to go get a shower. So I got on the showers. It's one of those push button things, and it goes off after about 2 minutes. And there's no adjustment for the water. And it was hot water. It was just a chain reaction of, it was hard. It was really hard. And it hasn't gotten better because I have no GPS. So I called Verizon, and they couldn't, for some reason they can't process a payment to give me more high-speed data. So I don't have any till June 8th when my monthly plan renews. So I called my Verizon shop in Ann Arbor, said, I'm on the road in the middle of nowhere in Georgia. I got to travel tomorrow, but I don't have any reliable GPS, so I need that high-speed data. And so they took my payment of $22, and nothing happened. So I called to troubleshoot this morning because they were closed by the time I realized nothing happened. Rebooted my phone last night 15 times. And then I called and they say, yeah, you have a credit. You know, the automated message. And then they said, we cannot do anything at this time. We're having some kind of problem. So call back the humans that I got. I'm waiting for their call back. They say I need to have a PIN number. I can't remember any PIN number. The plan renews automatically. All I got to do is have the money in the bank and everything's good. But that doesn't happen for 3 or 4 more days. So it's been really tough. Now the good thing is I put a tarp up. So what was happening yesterday after my hot shower, I come back here and I'm laying here in my bathing suit just rolling sweat, and a little bit of time goes by and all of a sudden through the canopy comes all the sunlight and I'm just roasting. So now I have a tarp to give me shade, and Wilson has been repaired, but there is still so much weight. I'm just going to comb through all this stuff and say, what can I pitch? And I think one of the big things is my tent. The other thing is, I don't know if I've talked to you about it in other videos, but all the roads around here have those side cuts. So if a driver falls asleep, they hit the rumble strips on the side of the road. They've just gouged out the shoulder. Well, that means I cannot ride on that because it chatters all my gear. And it also creates a ton of drag. Even on the downhill, I'm sunk. I got to stop and I got to walk my bike next to the shoulder of the road on the grass, which is all covered with broken car parts over the years and pieces of truck tires that are blown. The steel-belted radial, every time I have a flat, is what you pull out of there. One of those little tiny threads of razor-sharp steel belt that they put in tires. I have complained enough, and I'm sorry, but this is what's been happening. Also, Fester, here's the update. See how I've set everything up? I got the trash can, I got the wipes, I got the ointment, the Neosporin, I've got the Band-Aids ready to go, and the hydrogen peroxide, which I couldn't find for 2 weeks because of hoarders, because of the pandemic. And I cannot see, let me see if you can see. I've had to rig the mirror on my tripod with a piece of tape so that I can get a better view. See, down here I cannot see past this hump, and this is where the problem is, so I'm working blind. So I had to go to the dollar store and buy this little mirror. Yada yada yada, Doug. Alright, quit your bitching. I will, right now. Let's see what's going on with Fester. Not too bad as compared to what was going on with him. It's been a stalemate with me and Fester. He stayed small, not much pain unless I bump him. Or I'm sleeping on my side, and so the mattress is here, a sleeping bag, and the pressure on him is, oh gosh, he's a lot better. A lot better. Very nice. I've still got the open hole. I've got little things that replace stitches. You can tape it closed, and I'll try that. But first I'm going to use the open hole to expel whatever pus might come out. And then I'm going to fill that by pouring a steady stream of hydrogen peroxide over that while I let go, and it sucks it right in, and then it's a little mini volcano. I wish my tripod wasn't occupied. Maybe I can rig this so you can see. I think that worked. I took one of my headlamp elastic bands and I strapped it around my thigh. Yeah, there we go. See, I had the strap around my thigh. So that's how I rigged it. Oh, Fester, you're looking much better, dude. Much, much better. Sweet. See that little hole? It's little now. And if you saw the other videos, which were real gross, I was cutting on myself. I had to. And so we are miles ahead of where we were with this infected lump on my leg. That's good. See, so I get the squeeze going, and then I dump on the hydrogen peroxide, and then I let go, and it sort of sucks it in there. And then the bubbles come out like a volcano. There we go. Fascinating. So I've spent my time in the mountains. during the pandemic. Florida's open, Georgia's open, and I'm just too heavy loaded to deal with the heat. I'm a Yankee, so I'm not used to southern heat, and so my plan is to head out of the mountains and head for Athens, Georgia. When I get there, it should be flatter. Then I'll probably head for Savannah, and after that I'll probably head for oh, that's juicy, isn't it? Head for Jacksonville, Florida, and then I'll be through. Done what I set out to do. I gave myself the challenge of pedaling my bike and stealth camping all the way from Michigan to Florida. And it has been a great adventure and a lot of fun. It's just, I had a terrible day yesterday, and it was not something I could just say, all right, well, I'll get a hotel. No, I couldn't. There wasn't any hotels anywhere, and there were no campgrounds open until I found this one. So it's been tough, but I knew that when I signed up, so I'm glad I took the day off, because from the ordeal yesterday I am really sore and just so fatigued because I got so overheated, and I was out of water for 3 hours, and there was no stream I could get to or anything. It's just one of those things that happens when you're out on the road and you're taking what life's given. And it gave me a terrible day yesterday, despite whatever attitude, positive thinking I could muster. It was still very difficult. And even last night, I called my brother. I said, oh man, I had the worst day, and I felt so bad because that sweet young lady checking me in. I was like, what if I had opened all my gear and put my camp together, and then I found out you don't take any debit or credit cards? What was I supposed to do then? She said, well, we would give you a courtesy ride to the nearest ATM. I said, oh, okay. Well, that would work. Thank you. That would work pretty good. And but then I just felt like such a jerk being mean to that. So anyway, sometimes life gets the better of me. See, now I can see in the mirror how to aim this Band-Aid, which I hadn't been able to do before. So I want it right there and just cream that Neosporin right into that. I guess it might be 2 little holes. It's a lot better than it was. Alright, Fester. Thank you for playing. Should be good. Editing videos, and look at that red-headed woodpecker. There's two of them. Getting ready to move on. Already struck the tent. Look at this. Look at this. I started out with 3 pair of socks, identical, all black, so I don't get them mixed up. Anyway, see the holes? I'm down to my last pair. It's best for all involved. I just burnt. Look at that. Stink even more when they're on fire. Rigged and rolling. I think it's only like 8 a.m. But I'm still starting to sweat right now. Check it out. Down there is the campground. And coming out, as I was, someone pulled up in a car, and it was that young lady that checked me into the park a couple days ago. And she said, well, you have a safe trip. And I said, wait, I gotta tell you, I was mean to you, and I'm sorry. I said, I got back to my camp after I got checked in, and I thought, I was so mean to that sweet young lady. And she said, oh, no worries. You be safe. in her southern accent. It was pretty cool. So I'm headed out of here. And I'm feeling much better about having been snippy.